Alright, we're back in Cannock Castle, and this inmate's gonna give us our next objective to obtain the Silver Key. And the Silver Key is of course, and Norton Security wants to perform background tasks while my computer's idle. Yeah, whatever. And to obtain the Silver Key is, we're gonna head toward the Lake Cave, toward the west this time. And in between episodes, I raised Tyrion to level 5. He actually learned the Fireball spell at level 3. Works just like the Hurt spell in Dragon Warrior 1. They get ambushed by a wild mouse or wild mice. But it doesn't matter anyway because these guys don't do any damage anyway, so who cares? Just smash these mices to pieces. Alright, we got a medical herb. And also, I want to save my MP, so I won't be using the Fireball spell that much. Well, not for this episode. I actually want to save my MP for healing and curing poison, which Tyrion learns at level 6. Should be able to get to that level while we're in this dungeon. So if you're not at level 6, just bring a couple of antidote herbs, because there's a lot of enemies here that can poison you. Like these here. Yeah, I could have just used Fireball to kill him in one hit, but... Man, which I should have done because I got poisoned. Tyrion's still weak as hell, but yeah, at least he did kill that big cobra. And this is what poison does. See, every about 4 or 5 steps, you'll lose a little bit of damage. It's pretty annoying. So just use that antidote herb, take care of the poison. And here's the Lake Cave. Doesn't take that long to get here. First, we're gonna grab this treasure chest. Well, actually, I guess not. We're gonna fight an enemy. And here's a new enemy, the Healer. It does what it says. It heals other enemies on the screen. But if you can take out the enemies in one shot... Nah, well... Anyways, Tyrion's still pretty damn weak. Yeah, if you kill all the enemies in one hit, the healer will have no one to heal, so you don't have to worry about that. Although these things have a decent amount of HP. Yeah, a decent amount of experience from the healer, though. And new to this version, we get agility seeds. Like agility seeds, defense seeds, things that you'll see in the later Dragon Quest games. That agility seed, I'm going to save that for the Princess of Moonbrooke later on. I got 2 more Babbles and a healer. Let's see if Tyrion can take out the Babble in one hit. Severely doubted. And I was right. Alright, those areas to the right and down, they just lead to dead ends, so don't worry about it. You want to go here. I know it's pretty dark, it's hard to see these staircases. Except when you run into a random battle and the screen lights up. Now I'm poisoned. I think I'm out of antidote herbs too. Oh, good. Yeah, just in the nick of time. Yeah, level 6, yeah, he learns the antidote spell. So now we have really no use for the antidote herbs. Although those big cobras do have a chance of dropping the antidote herbs. Yeah, let's just heal up here. Like I said before, I just want to save my MP for healing and antidote. Although there are enemies here called the Magicians. I think they're called Magicians in this version. Yeah, you just want to use the... Oh, here we go. Get the Acorn of Life. Yeah, what the Acorn of Life does, it, it, yeah, it, 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 raises your max HP by a significant amount. Around, I think about 3 to 5. Yeah, I'll probably save that for the Princess of Moonbrooke as well. And get another antidote herb. Go away, Norton. Pissing me off now. Yeah, I'm about to turn that crap off, but of course, once I turn it off, here comes a big fucking virus that'll destroy my computer, I guess. And there we got a Wing of the Wyvern and get 242 gold. Wing of the Wyvern, it just returns you to the last place you saved. Yeah, just more rats. That's why you're fighting more rats than dragons in this Dragon Quest game. It's called Stannis, the Rat King. Alright, I just healed up and cured all the poison off screen. We're almost there. Yeah, around this screen you can fight those magicians. Yeah, you're better off just killing them with the fireball spell because, well, they can use it against you. Here we get the Silver Key, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just edit out the backtracking, and I'll probably meet you back in Leftwind. Alright, we're here in Leftwind, and remember I said in the last episode about that little bug. Yeah, if you do not talk to the King of Cannock during that in the last episode, yeah, sort of a bug happens, and you can pretty much recruit the prince again. Well, sort of. Alright, now we get another party member. This is gonna be weird. No, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Yeah, you pretty much just recruit him again, but I really don't know if this locks up the game or whatnot. Yeah, I never really experimented with this, so yeah, I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna leave Tyrion's stunt double there by himself. But since we got the Silver Key, we can open up these doors with the silver edge on it. Now what you can do is you can go into your menu and go to the Silver Key, or you can use the action button in this version to just open the door. And here's the lottery office. Yeah, off screen I already went to the vault and got that lottery ticket out. Golden card gives you things sort of discounts at the shops. Wizard's ring is an item you can use to recover your MP, but it has the chance of breaking, so I really wouldn't use that until late game. Or you can just use save states to manipulate the wizard's ring, but I won't be doing that in this game, except for there's there's about 2 times where I'll be abusing the wizard's ring, mostly because of another bug, a real annoying bug that occurs much late in the game, where you can't use the end, so I'm just gonna have to abuse the wizard's ring to get all my MP back. And now you want to head through this area here. If you didn't have the Prince of Cannock, these guys would say none shall pass, and they wouldn't let you through. No, that monolith south of the Midenhall Castle is a waste. Don't bother. All that guy, he'll just tell you about the keys, the golden key and the silver key. The golden key is needed to open this door. Yeah, you see the key won't turn. See if there's anything here? No. See, if I was designing this game, I would be just a real jerk. And I would hide something like right here. But unfortunately, the game designers didn't think of that, so oh well. Don't bother going to the left there, that's just a dead end. You want to head straight down. Yeah, and there are enemies around here, but I believe they're pretty much the same. Big cobras and rats. Not too much to be worried about. Now here's a new enemy, the Spook. Doesn't really do anything, it's just there to be killed. Still haven't ran into those magicians yet. Yeah, and that shrine that's south of... Now we get another level. That shrine south of Midenhall, yeah, that's the one that I call the Shrine of Pointless Exploration. It's pretty much usually the newbies, the first people played this game for the first time, this area where you go to and you end up dying trying to get there. Yeah, and that dead end I was talking about, yeah, see that cave up there? Yeah, that's where it leads to, so don't go there. And now from here, you just want to head straight south. Here's some new enemies, the army ants. Yeah, we could have met up with those up to the north too, but yeah, I didn't run into those. These. Pretty much the same as the Iron Ash, just have a little bit more HP. That's it. Yeah, just be careful when you go south of these hills, because you could run into baboons around there, and they hit like a truck. I think in the NES version, the baboons are located south of the next town, but in this version of the game, the baboons, they had spawned around this town here, which is the town of Hamlin. Sort of a jerk move in this version, moving the baboons a little bit more north. You want my autograph? No. Now get out of the way, I want to go to the inn. Talk to this guy. Yeah, I guess that guy I was talking about that told us about the Silver Key, I guess. And that area we'll be heading to in the next episode. Moonbrooke Castle, I will not be heading to in the next episode. And I suggest going to Moonbrooke when you have all three of your characters, because there's a certain enemy there that can give up a lot of experience. Magic Knife, I'll give that to the Princess of Moonbrooke. I'll buy that later, probably in between episodes. But the most important thing I want to buy is the broadsword and the full plate armor. Yeah, look at that experience boost. I mean, that power boost from like 20, from 40 to 60. Yeah, I definitely want to get that first, and then the full plate armor. Iron Spear, I can give that to the Prince of Cannock, but I'm not going to buy that. Yeah, that chain sickle, he's going to be having that for a long time. Because I am too cheap and too lazy to do any more gold grinding than I need to. Especially for that steel shield. We'll never see that steel shield. Don't even bother buying it. For 2,000 gold and only like 6 points of defense, it's totally not worth it. But the broadsword and the full plate armor, that's why I'm going to have to do my gold grinding around here. Of course, I'm going to do that off screen. I'm not going to sit there and make a 20-minute episode of just fucking level grinding. That's just a waste of recording. Yeah, sometimes you can get lottery tickets from enemies as well. I think the lizard flies around this area, they drop lottery tickets. And there's the vault, and here's the priest. Here you can detoxicate, exercise, or whatever. Not exercise. Yeah, and you can record and save your game here. Which is pretty nice. You don't have to go all the way back to the Castle Cannock or Maidenhall to save your game. And here's a cruddy map of the next areas we'll be heading to. Hamlin is the town where I ended the episode. After recruiting the princess, I'll be heading toward the Tower of Wind, and then off to Moonbrooke. Also, I wouldn't recommend going to Moonbrooke without the princess, mostly because I don't want her to miss out on the experience from the enemies there. Especially the certain type of metal enemies, if you know what I mean. Finally got the broadsword and the full plate armor for Stannis. And for Tyrion, he can't equip any of that stuff, so he's pretty much stuck with the chain stuff. And in this episode, we'll recruit our third party member, the Hound. Now, get out of the way, NPC. And also off screen, one of the enemies dropped a lottery ticket, one of the lizard flies, which I mentioned in the last episode. He dropped the lottery ticket, so let's see if I get lucky here. Fail. Screw the lottery. Let's get out of here. Let's see what the Hound can do in combat. Well, obviously not. Nothing. Oh well. We'll come back for the Hound later. Here we have a new enemy, the Smoke. It pretty much sucks. Smoke loses. Flawless victory. Fatality. Yeah, don't bother using magic on smoke. It's pretty resistant to fireball. Yeah, here we have a bunch of new enemies. Magidrake, Magic Ant, Centipede. You want to kill the Magidrakes and Magic Ants first. The Magidrakes, they can cast defense on your party, which pretty much lowers your defense. And also the Magic Ant, you can see there, can cast sleep on your party. So you want to kill him as quickly as possible. Nothing really that popular about the Centipede, except that, well, it has a ton of defense, but Stannis could take him out in one hit. Oh yeah, and also Tyrion learns Stop Spell at level 8. Works the same way as it does in Dragon Warrior 1. It's like the silent spell in Final Fantasy games. It has its uses. But not as much as sleep, though. Here's a new enemy, the zombie. Of course, you want to take out that Babel first. I don't feel like getting poisoned. Zombie has a ton of defense, as you see there, because it protects itself. I assume it's using the defend command. Still can't do anything against fire, though. Yeah, it can cast Surround, and Surround is pretty much like the blind spell in Final Fantasy games. And here we have a new enemy, Lizard Flies. These are the ones that drop the lottery tickets. Of course, you want to take out the Magic Ant first to keep it from putting you to sleep. Yeah, the Lizard Flies are pretty resistant to Stop Spell, but hey, if you get at least 1 or 2 out of the 3, it's still good. Yeah, they can also cast little fireball attacks on you. But they don't have that much HP. Not really that tough, unless they ambush you. So of course you want to still keep your HP high. Yeah, you get a lot of experience in this area. Yeah, if you would have head to Moonbrooke, there would be an NPC that would tell you to search in this area, but I just don't feel like it. I'm just too lazy to, do any backtracking or retracking or whatever you call it. So anyway, I was going to come here and get the Mirror of Ra, and I want to recruit the princess as quickly as possible. I don't feel like going out of my way to show them pointless NPCs that tell you stuff that I already know. And we'll head to Moonbrooke in the next episode. I just want to get the princess as quickly as possible so she can buy in on all the experience. And here we have the baboon, toughest enemy of this area. Really nothing special to them except they just hit like trucks. Which is another reason why I want to recruit the princess quickly, because she can learn the sleep spell at level 2, and these baboons are pretty susceptible to it. It's pretty much my favorite way of taking care of the baboons, besides just using your most powerful attacks. Like you see, they still hit Stannis for about 8 or 9 damage, even with the full plate armor on. They range from about 30 to 45 HP. I think the enemies in this game have a lower minimum HP than in the NES version. Although some enemies have a higher max HP than in the NES version as well. So yeah, you got to be careful for that. Anyways, we're gonna head back here to Hamlin and use that Mirror of Ra on the Hound. See if we can recruit him again. As I click outside the box. There we go. And of course somebody in Moonbrooke, they'll tell you use the Mirror of Ra on the dog that's in here. And she'll turn into a beautiful princess. Alright, we get our third and final party member. And of course, just like the Prince of Cannock, she starts off at level 1. So what I'm going to do off screen is level her up to around level 5. She learns the sleep spell at level 2, like I said before, and yeah, she comes with pretty much nothing. Cypress stick and clothes. But she also comes with the Heal More spell, which is going to be pretty useful. And she also learns the spell Infernos at level 4. That's going to be even more useful. I'm going to give her the magic knife. Also, I'm going to change her name as well. Same way as changing the Prince of Cannock's name. Except when you go to the title screen where you use your file or pick your file, you just hold left in the start button, then press A. So I'm going to do all that. I'm not going to do any more gold grinding. I'm not going to buy any more equipment for these guys. I already got the magic knife for the princess. I'm going to do some little bit leveling up for princess, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I got Arya to level 5. Well, Tyrion and Stannis, well, they gained a couple levels just by being in a battle, of course. And also, she learned the sleep spell at level 2 and Infernos at level 4. Infernos, just like Fireball, but it hits an entire group of enemies. It does a little bit more damage than the Fireball, though, so I'll probably be just spamming that in the next area. And also, Tyrion learned the Return spell. I think at level 9 or 10. Nah, I can't remember. This is the next area we're going to head to. Tower of Wind. You could have headed there with just Stannis and Tyrion, but I wouldn't recommend it. Then Arya will be missing out on a lot of experience in that area. Ah, here goes the Magician. I was looking for you in the last episode. Well, he's pretty weak now, so nothing to worry about, but here's the Inferno spell. Does a ton of damage for this early in the game. Pretty much wipe out a group of annoying enemies like those lizard flies. Goodbye, Magician. Magician doesn't have a lot of HP. They can't cast Fireball, but I'm not that worried about it now. Now to head to the Tower of Wind, I'm gonna have to go all the way around to the eastern part of this continent. Yeah, let's try the stop spell on these guys and the sleep spell. They are more susceptible to sleep than the stop spell. Although I'd rather just put the enemies to sleep anyways. You know, casting stop spell, keep them casting spells, and they'll just attack. Sleep, you know, you pretty much put them to sleep. You know, they can't do anything. Turning them into this cannon fodder. Especially those baboons. Yeah, now you want to head all the way around this little area here. More useless army ants. We've fought these guys before. Don't really care. More army ants. Just fast forward to this nonsense. Yeah, Magician, Baboon. Stannis should be able to take care of a baboon in one hit. Most of the time. Let's try out Infernos on the baboons. 20 damage. Yeah, 33 damage. Yeah, the damage ranges. It sucks, but... Nah, come on, lag. There we go. But for the most part, you know, it's still a pretty powerful spell. Most of the time. Now you want to just bump and edge across here. Like a pool bumper table. More centipedes. Just cast Fireball and Arya. Just defend. I don't want to waste all my magic. Still have a dungeon / tower to get through. Yeah, because Stannis could just take these guys out in one hit. Arya and Tyrion. Oh, well, never mind. You got him. 3 damage. Alright, Stannis got to level 12. Crappy stat gains there, but guess we have to take what we can get. Big Cobra, Zombie, Smoke. Seen these before. I didn't mention before, the Smoke they can cast what is that? Surround? No, stop spell on your party. Not like I care anyways. I'm not going to use spells on the Smoke anyway. Zombies are pretty resistant to status effects like sleep, and, well, stop spell, stuff like that. But regular attack magic, you can take them out pretty easily, except when they defend, which is pretty annoying. Yeah, when you run into a group of 3 or 4 of them, I just use the Inferno spell. More of these magic ants, just kill them all, die. They don't live long enough to cast a sleep spell on me anymore. And here's the Tower of Wind. There's a lot of dead ends, as you can see, but I want to pass those stairs there. Grab this treasure. Get a medical herb. Yeah, you gotta fight a lot of zombies in this area. Usually in groups of 3 and groups of 4. Just cast Infernos on them. Yeah, if you walk off the edge of the tower, you'll just fall down and have to climb back up all over again. Surprising you don't lose any HP or anything by falling off the tower. Guess it's not just in Final Fantasy where characters can survive from infinite heights. Here we have more smokes. I don't even bother using magic on them. Yeah, you see they cast stop spell. Not like I really care. You just go all out with physical attacks. They don't really do any much damage anyways. Not worth wasting magic on. The Arya's so weak, it'll just say it hath recovered no damage or something like that. Oh, it didn't take any damage. Yeah, Tyrion took him out with just 4 HP of damage. Come on, don't talk to a wall, Squall. There we get 348 gold. Now you want to come around here and go up these stairs. I'll be backtracking back to those stairs that I was at about a couple seconds ago. There's another item that you want to get. Here we have the Ghost Rat. Here goes the Ghost Rat. And that's all to the Ghost Rat. Just be careful not to fall off here. That's one thing that's annoying about the SNES version. In the NES version, you move by 1 block. But in the Super Nintendo Famicom version, you move like a half a block a step. So it can be pretty annoying not to fall off the tower edges. Here we learned the surround spell. Like I said before, it works like the blind spell in Final Fantasy games. I hardly ever use it. But the Cloak of Wind I surely will be using. For the next dungeon, of course. Or the next tower. I'll explain what it does later. Just equip it. Now to get out of here, you can climb the stairs all the way back down, or you can just drop off the edge of the tower. Oh, actually, no. There's something else we need to get here. Oh, I almost forgot about that. It's a wizard's ring. Yeah, we have to backtrack all the way down. Try not to fall off the edges here. Yeah, now you want to head up these stairs. Almost forgot about this. Alright, about 50,000 zombies later. And 20,000 magic ants and 50 billion lizard flies later, we get a lottery ticket. But that's not what we backtracked here for. We came here for the wizard's ring. And if you notice, the lag nest monster is starting to act up, pretty much telling me the end of the episode. You mad? So what I'm going to do is just drop off the tower, cast return, to head back to Hamlin. So I guess we'll explore Moonbrooke and the western part of this continent next time on Let's Play Dragon Warrior 2. And if you notice, the overworld music changes when you have your full party.